Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chat and Craft with Lorraine. I'm Lorraine Tierney, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Warner, New Hampshire. And I love to make cards, I love to share cards, and I love to help other people make cards. So I'm sorry I'm a couple minutes late. I was having some technology issues. As soon as I hit go live, it was just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and I wasn't sure it was going to let me on. Hi, Michelle. Nice to see you. So we're going to make a card tonight, and this card has a little bit more pieces and more going on in it than I sometimes do. So I have a lot of stuff on my desk right here, and I'm trying to figure this all out. We are going to use, let's see, let me make this my primary one. We are going to use the Flowers of Beauty stamp set. And I'm a little crooked here. I want to try to. Don't know why that's not staying. Okay, now I have to go back this way. That way. Hi, Pam. So we're going to use the Flowers of Beauty. We're going to use some of this greenery and these little flowers here. And that's in the new catalog. And we're going to use Queen Bee. And this is an online exclusive. Hi, Sharon. This one does have dies that go with it, but the dies are not online anymore. So I think the dies are gone, but the stamp set is still available. So we're also going to use that. So we're going to make a card that has a little bit of lattice on the front. And I might have done this in a live before. I can't remember, and I didn't look it up, but I wanted to make one again. So that's what we're making. I hope you don't mind. So I have a card base here that's 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at 5 1/2. This is a thick basic white card base. Whenever I use basic white for a card base, I like to have it be thicker. And now this is the front, and we're going to cut a piece off the front. We're going to cut 3 1/4 inches. Hi, Courtney, I miss you. 3 1/4 inches off of the front. So now we just have a little piece like that. I am, if I can get my bone folder. Hi, Julia. Hi, Joanne. Going to give that a good little burnish right there. Now this piece is 4 1/4 wide because it's like it is part of our card base. I'm going to cut 5 1/2-inch strips off of it. 1, 2, and they don't have to stay in any particular order. 3. Oh, I was just thinking I could have embossed this with one of the wood grain embossing folders. That would be really pretty to have this embossed. I might have to try that on another one. So I have 5 of these 1/2-inch strips. Now this one is 3/4, so half of 3/4 is 3/8, because 3/4 is like 6/8. And I'm going to cut this one in half also. And those I do want to keep a little bit separate. So now we have our card base, and we're going to make some lattice to go across the front here. And I have a handy dandy piece of blue painter's tape that I've already done this a couple of times, put it on my jeans and taken it off. And I'm going to put that right inside my card. And I'm going to move this, hopefully you can still see that, down a little so that I can put the end of that tape on my table, not on my paper, because it might rip my paper. Well, I might have to put it on my paper. I did not make it long enough, and I want that to be straight. I want my card base to be straight. Okay, so now I'm just going to lay these across, and I'm not
pushing it down in the middle too much or at all just yet, because I want to get them all in place. So I'm going to do the top and the bottom, and then I'm going to do the one that's sort of in the middle. I think I want my bottom one to line up with the card base so that the card can stand, or at least have a chance at standing. Then this one, and then I want that to go up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to give that just, I definitely have more room at the bottom than I do at the top. Let's see if I can. Okay, and the top part is going to have more stuff on it, so I'm okay with that. All right, so now these two little pieces will become the part of the fencing that holds that up, and I'm actually going to let them hang off the bottom and then trim them. Okay, so I'm going to put some dots of glue right down there, and then I'm going to lay this over it and try to get it straight. And hold that there just for a second. And then I want to try, that's probably about a half an inch from the edge. And I want to kind of get this one about the same. And I'm going to put some more glue down there. And put this one on. And that could go up just a squidge. Okay. All right, so let's give that just a second to dry. And I'll show you what we're going to do get my trimmer out of here. Some of the other parts. So I want some greenery. I have a piece of garden green, and I have this beautiful die. This is just foliage, this one, but the leaves do match the leaves that are over here. And I'm going to run that through my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Hopefully it won't shake things up too much. But it's such a nice greenery die. Here we go. Oh, it might be helpful if I were at least somewhat in the camera. Okay, and we'll pop this out. There we go. All right. And then we have to do a little bit of stamping before we can die cut anything else. So I'm going to stamp, this is a two-step flower here, the background and then a little detail of the flower. And then there's a die that will cut that out. So to do that, I'm going to use Pretty in Pink, which is the same color as the cardstock, for this bigger flower. This is the one that would be in the back. Pretty in Pink. And then for the detail flower, where did that go? That's right here. I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo. So does anybody own this stamp set? Has anyone used it? I'm curious to know. And these are going to just line up in the center of those other flowers. And you can see you get a light and a dark. And they're a little artistic. They're not totally lined up, but that's okay. And then, oh, that's upside down. We would run that through the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, but I already did that one. I remembered to do that. And I have a piece of white around here someplace for me to stamp on. And it's, oh, here it is. Okay, now we need to stamp. I'm going to turn that over. We need to stamp our stems that are going to hold those flowers. So we're going to do that with this one that has the little bit wider leaves, a little bit more to the leaves than this one has delicate leaves. Well, that's what's nice, Michelle, about the annual catalog. You have some time to think about it. Things will be around for a while. Okay, so then this one goes like that. And that's what the little pink flowers are going to go on. I am not going to cut that out immediately. I already cut one out, and I think one is going to be enough. So let's go back to our lattice here, and let's carefully take off that painter's tape. You can reuse that, and we're going to trim these little doodads off. And I see that one of my side things is not quite right, so I'm just going to trim that off. Okay, now I don't like that you could see through to the writing on the inside of the card, so we're going to put a little color back there, and I want to pop it up a little bit. So I'm going to take, I don't want it to be flat. I want there to look like there's some depth behind there. So I thought if I popped it up, that might help. I don't know. I have not made this yet. I've made one of these cards, but I didn't do this step. So we'll see if this one works. I don't know if I need, the covers are coming off, but I'm not getting the dimensionals up. I don't know if I really need this many, but we'll go for it. You know how I feel about saggy middles. No saggy middles. Right? Right. I think Joanne has made one of these cards with the trellis on it. I don't know. Has anybody else? I love to have audience participation and questions and answers. So tell me if you've tried this lattice card technique. All right, I might be here for a minute getting all these little thingies off. I should color them. So all right. So now I'm going to put this on. This is 5 1/4 by 4, so it's a little bit smaller. I'm going to put that on just like that. So then you'll just see a little bit of pink shining it through. Oh, you did, Michelle, on your longest day. I must have missed that one. I'll have to go back and watch. All right, so now we have some things ready to go on here. So a garden green sprig is going to go on there. Nice, Pam. Put it on your list. And then some greens. And then I have a whole bunch of these little flowers that we can adhere onto this. And I think you just kind of put them on randomly. Most of the time it seems like people have just kind of put them wherever they wanted. Go up a little. So, all right, so I'm going to take that off. I like those colors together. And we'll do a little gluing right here. And I need a silicone mat because it's going to be a little tricky. I'm not sure if my glue, where I put the glue here, is going to end up on a hole or not. So let's not glue this to my table, if you know what I mean. And we'll do a few more of these. I may even put a couple on the green sprigs. What do you think? Can I be wild and crazy and do that? How about one over here? And I have another one. Maybe right there. Okay. And while we're at it, here, I'll say this again. I guess I couldn't really use an adhesive sheet for this because who knows where it would stick down. So this is going to be tricky also, getting this on here. I think I'm going to use some seal because that won't drip through the cracks. And it will just stick where I need it, hopefully. Let's see. And then I can maybe pop some glue in. So where I have that pieces of that seal that are sticking out there, I'm just kind of encouraging those to go in the back. And this one I'm going to put right along that fence post. Yeah, that's a good start at holding that in place. I think I'll do the same thing on the back of this. Some little pieces. There we go. Okay, get that out of there. I love those colors together, the garden green and the pretty in pink. That's a really pretty combination. Oh, Pam, you can hear my cat, huh? Fat Boy loves to talk while I'm on a live. So I want to put a couple of bees on here with some of the flowers. So these little bees are from that Queen Bee stamp set. I did this little bee. I actually did it in early espresso and then colored the leaves with Daffodil Delight. I don't know if you can see that any better. So I want to put one right on a flower, I think. Right there. And I need a sentiment, and I was thinking, I didn't grab it yet, of the garden meadow, thinking of you. So garden meadow and flowers, and it's the right theme, even though your sentiment doesn't have to come from anything. That's the right theme. What do you think? Should that be in pretty pink or pretty in pink, or should that be in garden green? You tell me what you think. Pretty in pink or garden green, and we're going to do just a little stamping on the inside of the card. I love this collage-y kind of stamp. It says garden bee, flower, bloom life, miracles, honey, gather, spring, and grow. I have one vote for pink. So I want to put that down here on the bottom. And I think I will use some Stamped Off Early Espresso. And I have to confess that I just re-inked this Early Espresso, and I may have had a bit of a heavy hand. So let's see how dark that's going to come out. That's okay. And then if I stamp off a couple of times, it's a little bit lighter. So I think I'm going to stamp off and then stamp this right down there. There we go. All right, I have 2 votes for the pink. Michelle and Pam say pretty in pink. So let's do that if I can find it. And I'm going to be daring. I'm going to do it right on the card. And if I mess it up, I'm going to be sad. Whew, let's see how I do. See if it's straight. Yep, and I have a whole bunch of ink on my block. I'm going to just close that up and clean that block off and try that again. Okay. There goes nothing. Thinking of you. All right. Oh, it looked a little blurry to me for a second. And there's one bee. And I don't know. What do you think? Do I need a few more bees? I could put a bee up there. The bees all go the same direction. I didn't think to do any mirror stamping. I could have. We could do that. But I'm not going to. I don't know. More bees or less bees? Tell me what you think. So I really like it with that little bit of pink behind it, and I like the way it's not just flat on there. Oh, I have a vote for bees on a bee on the inside. I could do that. I could stamp a bee on the inside. Maybe I'll put them like that. More. Everybody says more. Okay. We're going with it. I'll stamp one right on the inside. Put this one near a flower. And let's stamp a little bee. Oh, where's my little bee? Oh, he's out already. Okay. Oh, I've got something. Oh, I can put some bling on too. Oh, good. Those came right up. Okay. So I think I'll put a bee up here in this corner. And I have got a big halo because I rocked that stamp. I'm rocking and rolling. Let's do it nice and lightly. Oh, Courtney, I'm glad you like that pink behind the lattice. I really like that touch. And it looks finished up here. There were some other ideas I had, but I didn't want it to be messy or to be the backside of a paper that I didn't like. So just having cardstock, that looks pretty good. I'm going to grab my light Daffodil Delight. That was the dark one. And even though this is not Memento, I'm going to color it in. And it might bleed a little bit, but I wanted it a little bit softer than the black of the Memento. So there is our card tonight. So a lattice card. I love the pretty in pink with the garden green, and then the bees, and a little bee on the inside. Oh, a little bling. Little bling. So these are the In Color resin dots. These are not sparkly. They're rather soft and kind of muted color, which I like. Although sometimes I like the really bold colors too. I'm going to put one under there a little bit. And another one right there. So just 3 of those. So that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I love it when you leave a comment. If you catch this on the replay, please let me know that you're watching, and have a great rest of your Wednesday night. And I'll be back either Sunday or Monday. I've been a little inconsistent. It's summertime and the schedule's a little bit crazy. Oh, I could do this. Sorry, the schedule's been a little crazy. So thanks for bearing with me, and have a great night. Bye-bye.